That was T1 versus Afreeca, game number 1. What a stomp! It was very one-sided. Well, there was a huge accident happened in the early game. And T1 just picking up all the kills in the mid and late game. So that early game fight kind of allowed T1 to snowball throughout the game. It was a very clean and perfect game coming out of T1, even though they had a bit of a mistake in the mid-game, but they're becoming more and more solid. So let's break down the draft first. Karma against Sets as a counter pick, but Afreeca rotated into the mid lane because Faker does not tend to take teleport. Afreeca tried to play around the bot side. They had a good pathing. They created a very nice wave to try the turret dive, but there was a huge accident and did not go well for Afreeca. So let's check out that accident we have been keep mentioning. Afreeca, if you take a look at their draft, it was too obvious that they would go for that early game turret dive in the bot lane. But Cuz was really smart on his jungle pathing, so they were able to defend that play. Olaf always tends to go full camp clear. However, this time around, Olaf was in the right place to protect their bot duo. Kalista, Taric, Analyst, those are the perfect comp to execute a turret dive. However, even though Cuz is not on top of the stat in terms of counter jungling, he's on top in terms of protecting and supporting teammates. So if Cuz had gone with a very typical Olaf route, going for the topside gank, well, Afreeca could have had a huge win in that early game fight. However, this time Cuz was so intelligent, taking that different jungle pathing and protecting their players from the bot lane turret dive. So Afreeca took a big L in that fight, and this got extended throughout the game. So there was no way for Afreeca to reach out to T1 as soon as their difference even got accelerated. There was one moment where Faker died with all of his spell up. However, after that setup, T1 never lost a single fight. Their positioning is always perfect. At this point, Afreeca and T1 both had winning conditions. Afreeca always has to take care of their side waves and open fights when the side champions can join the fight. But they weren't able to execute that correctly. Because Afreeca always has the comp that is a leading position in the side lanes. They should have been capitalizing their lead around the side lanes. However, they were hasting so fast, and they always try to answer whenever T1 tried to open fights. Well, at that moment, when there was this moment where T1 was fighting 4v5 and Kalista was able to pick up the bounty gold, so Afreeca had that opportunity to kind of close out the deficiency. However, after all the T1 players went back to base and bought all the items with their gold, there was no way for Afreeca to actually even out the game. And adding to that, Kana, even though he's a top laner, he had the perfect positioning as a Karma, and he also never used Mantra Q, the upgrade Q. Well, any top laner will do that. However, Kana always used the Mantra Shield to support his teammates. There is a reason why Kana is on top of the LCK KDA ranking. Let's check out the POG on the side of T1 in game number 1. Faker on Orianna. He's only 3 kills away to the 2,000 kills in LCK milestone. So I think it's really highly likely to happen since he made so many kills in game number 1. 9 kills on Orianna. So he's only 3 kills away. He was in the perfect position as an Orianna, as an AP champion. He even bought Magi, which kind of reflects his confidence that he will never die.
굉장히 잘했어요. 왜냐하면 아프리카 조합 자체도 아칼리, 세트, 타릭을 뽑으면서
Akali set Taric on the side of Afreeca. They were really intending to kill MF in the backline.
그만큼 포지션을 잘 잡았고.
But all the T1 players, including Orianna and Miss Fortune, was in a perfect position.
그래가지고
So Faker won 8 votes out of 9, and Wadid is the one that voted for jungler. Because Olaf didn't start blue buff, he started in the red buff and went for a cover of the bot lane turret dive, and Faker made a mistake in the mid game. So he was expecting Faker to be the POG, but Wadid thinks the real POG would be Cuz, especially protecting and covering for that bot lane early game turret dive.
자, 페이커 선수 이제 2,000킬 얼마 남겨두지 않았는데 물론 페이커 선수
Faker
그런 거 신경 안 써요.
always says that he doesn't really pay too much attention about the records, but he's only 3 kills away, so let's check out whether it's gonna happen in game number 2.
생각을 합니다. 지금부터 만나보시죠.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, for the Analyst desk translation and what did. Ruining things for Faker's perfect 9 out of 9. But yes, 3 kills away from 2,000 kills. 1997 is his current kill record here in the LCK. And I'd love to know a competitive global kills count, because I don't think I could imagine anyone with higher kills than Faker.
No, there's people with more than...
like in competitive games?
Yeah.
Globally? More than that?
So...
Because Faker's been at like most worlds.
I'm gonna try to search this up.
If there's a stat out there, it would be
yeah, but
really cool
LPL
to know.
have more games and they have more tournaments?
Well, that's a good point. So it might
I think
be.
it's someone from the LPL.
Do they have longer careers? Is the question. Because Uzi hasn't been around for all that long. Because Faker's just been here forever.
Yeah.
So it might just be that he does have that particular record. As we are in ban and pick, so I'll keep you up to date on what's been going on here. As once again, it's Pantheon and LeBlanc, just a side switch. It's still the same bans for each team.
Okay, so let me take a look at how old this was.
Whoa, T1 banned Akali.
Yeah.
Teddy wants player of the game, I think.
It has been a while. It has it definitely has been a while. But in 2016,
yeah,
Deft was at 1815 in 2016.
Okay.
Faker, for reference, was at 1659. Uzi was at 1600, Double F 1640.
And so it was Deft and Imp at the top at in 2016. So
Deft
Imp is definitely dropping off because he hasn't been playing.
Well, Imp has
but
retired.
Deft is still there. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know
but Deft wasn't at Worlds last year, and Faker was, and made a relatively deep run.
Yeah.
So Karma going into the last ban as Ornn is left up, and so Kanna can just lock that one in and the game is over. As he will do. And,
well,
I guess we can just keep talking about the stats.
For tomorrow's series, between...
The big one, the 2018 Summer Final rematch between KT and Griffin. A little bit facetious there, guys, because it's, of course, a very different KT this time around. And Griffin also, very different. But Yukal, now on the other side of the matchup, going to be very interesting, is Set and Kalista going to be locked away here for Afreeca. Still wanting to go with that Kalista composition, can mix it up, don't necessarily have to pick the Taric this time around. As Faker thinking about trying to get his last 3 kills towards 2,000 on the Zoe.
Well, Zoe would be a pretty interesting champion to do it with. Doesn't really have an ornament that she should or that she would ideally like to pursue, other than Ludens, is the most
and
common.
Rabadon's both
Rabadon's is
available.
really good, but Rabadon's isn't always an item that you get to just blindly go.
Often it's the item that you want to be upgraded but doesn't get upgraded.
Yeah.
Gives it
That
to you too
happens
early.
too.
Yeah. That's generally how it goes. But often these players just want as much power early as possible. As Cuz going back to one of his old favorites by the looks, as the Rek'Sai is locked in. We saw this picked up on the side of Gen G, and it didn't quite work out. But that was with an Aurelia top lane instead of this Ornn, which will be heading up there. Remember, Ezreal Yuumi were available, so that could have been the lock-in here to try and get some Team Rocket going on. Not going to be there, as Dread had subbed in, by the way, guys, so we no longer have Spirit on the roster.
The interesting thing about Dread coming in is that usually it's the invert, right? Dread starts, Spirit comes in.
Yeah.
And Spirit has been shown and proven time and time again to be sort of the team mascot when it comes to elevating the mood, keeping everyone positive. Right. And so after such a shocking loss in game number 1, I feel like it's so surprising to see him pulled out here in game number 2, as Ezreal does bite the dust.
Misfortune should be banned next, and then we should probably see a Taric ban from T1, is what I would expect. As Varus is actually the chosen option here. So it looks like Afreeca, they want to be into the Misfortune matchup again because Mystic was able to play it out so well in game number 1.
You know what I was just thinking about, by the way?
What's that?
Do you realize how silly some of the drafts and priorities can actually be? Have you noticed how now, in week number 5, Lucian is non-existent?
Yeah, we don't have him.
Kespa Cup and the first few weeks, Lucian was getting banned all the time.
Yeah, Kiana.
Now he's just completely disappeared, and we got some sinners on Afreeca.
That's likely to be going to either Fly or Keen, depending on who wants to play that one. Kiana, an awful matchup into Ornn, one you definitely don't want to do, but might be okay into Zoe. Not sure how that one necessarily goes. Is Effort thinking about heading back to the Nautilus? What do you feel about the Kiana versus Zoe matchup? She can dash around a lot, so avoiding paddle stars shouldn't be an issue.
Dash around, but if Zoe ever gets the leg up, the lane just sort of ends. But I mean, the invert is also true.
Yeah.
But Zoe can obviously sit back and try to farm into the later stages, at which point she ends up becoming more relevant. But Xayah, I feel like that's the pretty obvious pick when you have an Elise. You have a Kalista, you have a set that wants to get on top of you, you have the Kiana, Xayah can dodge, but it seems like maybe they don't want her. They want the traditional, tried and true Misfortune.
Didn't work in game number 1 in the laning phase, but T1 were, of course, still able to come out ahead. Pretty well-rounded draft, and with Ornn available, of course, every draft just looks good. Rek'Sai standing out a little bit as a possible issue, but we'll see how Cuz is going to be able to navigate it. Certainly one of his historically best champions. I believe his debut game, he got a quadra-kill on the Rek'Sai, unless it's a different person I'm thinking of.
And we have Sylas into Ornn again. And it is Keen up there in this lane. Sylas versus Ornn is really strange. We've seen this twice now tonight. R-Pipe Sylas.
And Lonely was very lonely there towards the top side, but it was his debut match, remember. A different kettle of fish is Keen. So we'll see whether Keen can actually navigate the matchup. We did see that the Sylas is able to brawl early.
Yes.
With the Ornn very effectively. We'll see how Canna's going to be able to navigate it as the coaches will bow to one another, make their way off stage as we get into game number 2. Afreeca, can they bring us to a 3-game series, and can they play spoiler for a T1 that wants to stay even with Gen G at the top of the standings? Gen G very easily in game number 2. Took down Sandbox in our previous series. Now T1 looking to follow suit, and Faker looking for 3 kills in this game to be the first person ever in LCK history to reach 2,000 kills.
Yes. As Set, Kalista, Kiana, Elise, and Sylas is the game number 2 team composition. This is very akin to game number 1, except it's even more all-in.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes As Afreeca, they can play all-in compositions and make them work. They have shown us in the past that they can just bypass the late game by snowballing early, but against T1, it is always a tall order. And it's not like the T1 lanes necessarily lose early either.
Right.
So scary times.
This is very scary. Afreeca full of mono red.
Yep.
In
they've
their
been
team
known
comp.
to do this.
Yeah.
It was set support.
It is set support, which I think
Remember
actually
back?
pairs very nice with Callista.
Yep.
Especially when you throw set in.
Yeah. You can throw set in and then he can showstopper out, which is super cool.
Yes.
A way of separating the opponents. As, yes, this is a pretty historic pick for Cuz. 13-5 in the LCK on this Rek'Sai pick. Not going for the Hail of Blades. The more brawly version is what he's opted into with the Conqueror. As our first Drake is a mountain, it's going to be appearing on the map at 5 minutes on the dot.
Well, we'll take a look at what's going to happen. Obviously, Mountain into Cloud. I think Cloud is just probably the best first Drake that one can actually get to get it out of the way. Not in terms of for a team, but in terms of viewing experience. But Mountain,
I'm not picky. I'm okay with it being first or second.
Yeah.
Or just
as long as it's not.
non-existent.
Yeah, as long as it's not third.
In fact, I mean, the best case scenario is for it just not to spawn.
Yes, that is.
But it's good to see that you're not going to get a Cloud Soul early, because otherwise that looming dread is always there.
Although I do suppose that maybe team compositions with really specific champions, if you could end up getting 4 Cloud Souls and 45%,
yeah,
that would be pretty good.
Yeah, there's a few of those. As Keen has found an inroad onto Canna here. Proxy's Conqueror as well.
See this happening again. Silas getting the level 2 against Scorn.
Face breaker there from Jelly. Haymaker onto Teddy as well. A lot of damage. As Mystic wanted to be able to get the Rend, but unable to actually proc it there onto Teddy. Moves back to this lane, still with Potion in hand, and has taken the door and shield, so is a little bit more durable. Cuz knows that Dread is in the area. Oh, and Tremor Sense is going to show him exactly where the Elise is. Looks for the knock up, and Dread turns around. Gets himself out of the way as Canna does Searing Charge out of the way of Keen. We're still having Ring Around the Rosie being played between these two junglers.
Yeah. And Cuz does know where Dread is. Dread's gonna be careful.
Yeah, Smite now on cooldown, but is able to take the big Raptor already. We're waiting for Faker to be able to move on over here. As Scryer's Bloom not going to show where Cuz's location is. And unfortunate, Cuz just giving up and not going to be able to contest this Rift Scuttler either.
It's very bizarre. It looks like Faker could actually get over to the Elise, but not sure what the communication just was. Nevertheless, though, Fly getting some assistance on this wave crash.
Faker picks up a barrier there in the mid lane, like you were saying. Fly going to make his way out. Has Ignite in this lane. Looking to try and do as much damage as he can during the laning phase. Just a longsword and some boots there to augment his early game. Wants to get to Serrated Dirk as soon as possible to attempt to put on the pressure, but Faker gets a very good lane state. Will waste a couple of minions here on the turret, as he will go home for free with a 11 CS advantage.
Cuz now finding Dread again, but Dread just getting the better of Cuz here in this early game. Both Scuttle Crabs going his way. Kana has W available, so.
Yeah, so
oh wait!
Bella's breath to get in.
It offensively wanted to turn there, and the reason that he's doing this is actually because there was such a surplus of spellcaster minions that they're effectively acting as additional spells in terms of damage. And so Kana basically saying that I'm not in here with you, you're in here with me, as
bad news for Cuz.
Yeah, Cuz is on, he is bad news bearers right now. This is a little scary.
Effort is well and truly behind enemy lines. Gets a...
Effort is
we're calling that ward Dorothy. Let's see how long Dorothy is going to land. going to last?
I don't like Dorothy.
You don't like Dorothy?
I don't like it.
Oh. Okay, what do you want to call her?
Let me think.
Damn, just
I'm gonna
put down Dorothy like that?
Yeah, I just had to put it down. It just wasn't. It wasn't giving me the same effects that I think it was giving you.
Okay, it's fine. I don't mind. I wasn't attached to the naming convention anyway. Cuz gonna come on over. Notices the Dread is once again in the area. We'll see whether he does steal away yet another cam. As Fly's gonna move in, and yes he does. Dread is just destroying Cuz's jungle right now as he even lands the cocoon on the back end, not able to follow it up, but sends a message that our Dread is just gonna continue to have control. Jelly moving on back down towards the bottom side. As you can see, it hasn't exactly spelt too much of a global gold lead for Afreeca, only 300 right now. They are winning in the jungle and in bottom lane, but things are even in the top lane. A slight advantage for Faker in the mid lane as Canna will find that last auto attack onto Keen. And now the Catalyst is done, it's going to be more and more difficult for Keen to get his bearings in this lane.
This Sylas versus Ornn matchup is... Okay, hold on.
Yeah, bit of a stun there as there's a great display of talent, but Faker is going to cleanse it, gets on out of the way. Fly not able to find that one and now has ult on cooldown, as you were.
As I would. The Sylas Ornn matchup is actually akin to the set Mordekaiser. In the sense that they voluntarily pick it into Ornn, and it doesn't actually win.
Yeah, like the Aatrox choice.
It gets
outscaled.
Also
feels bad. Yeah.
Aatrox has died off.
Well, died off
for
today.
the most part.
Yeah, he was here yesterday.
Yes.
But not as many sinners here today, by the looks of things.
What do you mean not as many sin? We got a whole game full of sin right here.
Well, I mean, I guess Afreeca is sinning in a different way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know there was different ways.
Well, there are multiple different ways to sin.
Kana, I mean, this is a lot of pressure that is being gifted by Faker as well as Cuz, zoning Keen off the entire turret. Keen is level 6. Kana already level 7, has that Grasp of the Undying. Again, gonna take a turret shot, not the end of the world. Ornn ultimate. So, Ronald.
Yeah. Randall.
I actually asked.
Yeah.
Vanderil?
Yeah.
I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I actually asked him on Reddit between the series.
Okay.
Can he please figure out if Ornn can actually activate Sylas's RAM?
Yeah, I
He's
really
the guy
want to
that
know
does
this.
this.
Yeah, we requested this if the collective knew. So obviously no one with full information there. Let us know if you do know.
Cuz still level 5. All the solo laners are starting to hit level 7 and whatnot.
Yeah, Dread coming on over and will take Shelly out of the way as well, as we've got a Cinderhulk Rek'Sai also being picked up.
Pay attention to this as well. An entire bot wave went into the void. Okay, so that is invalidating the gold that you just get from capturing the Herald.
Yeah.
That's just in bot lane. Now, obviously, T1 are also responding, it seems, with the lane. Oh, Teddy can't make up his mind. He doesn't know where he wants to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading back towards bottom lane.
A bit of miscommunication. So they ended up getting the Rift Herald, and the punish from T1 not even going to be there.
The waves did neutralize as far as bottom lane. We'll see how fast Teddy can get there. As Effort moving through the jungle finds Jelly, who will be able to clear out this control ward. And the red buff going to be a point of contention, likely to be where Dread's going to be looking. He's going to head down there now. You can see the question mark pings as Cuz thinking about making his way into the mid lane. And Canna is still just toying with Keen by the looks of things. Faker 1 versus 2 right now. There might be a dive towards bottom lane. Remember, Dread is on the Elise, very good at diving turrets. They're not looking to go aggressive against Cuz and Faker right now. No cocoon to come out from Dread either. Volatile Spiderling goes slightly wide, just a little bit short there.
And with an early game going this slow and steady for T1, definitely favors them.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Barely managed to get away there. Okay, well, we got some trades. 1 grass proc.
Yeah, we still have Bellows Breath, remember, from Canna also, but that's going to be the Kingslayer, bringing things back in favor of Keen in that trade. He's still down in farm, right? Like, Leon is still just winning. It's not what you want if you're an Afreeca Freecs fan.
This has been actually really interesting. All members of the Hydra are, they're struggling in top lane a bit in Spring 2020.
Okay, Cuz in trouble. Fly is going to find him. Supreme Display of Talent barely nicks him, as it is going to be the first blood going down, but immediately answered by Effort. Faker going to move on down, but a control ward is going to be there. Trouble Bubble lands. Jelly possibly in trouble. Fate's Call held on to here by Mystic, as you can see, as Jelly pulls him on back. It's a beautiful bait. And Mystic is going to be able to lock down the kill. I say bait, but I mean, you stand there with your mouth aghast.
That was like throwing the fishing rod, the hook into the water. The fish sees the hook. There's no bait on it. And he's like, you know what?
Delicious.
He's like, yeah, I'd love to slice my jaw today.
Let's see what this metal tastes like. Well, we could potentially ask. As Effort just got a little bit excited.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to give him A for effort.
I think.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's not how you spell that, isn't it?
That's not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Keen's still having a bad time up here. Let's have a look at this one once again. And just see whether it's a bait or bear hook.
With the knock-up,
Just something
was quite
barely
nice.
able to get it.
Fly, though, ended up going down. Now take a look at Effort. And the Bubble Trouble landed onto Jelly, and Effort's like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then Teddy's like, you won't. And then he's like, I will.
And the bait with the grip was actually fantastic there from Jelly as well. And I just don't think there's ever a reason to go into that fight because you know Fate's Call is available. So
Never,
a little bit silly.
ever should he have gone in there.
Never have I ever gone
Or
in
have
there.
I ever?
Yeah. That's a game we probably shouldn't play on broadcast. I don't think it might be a dangerous one.
That might definitely be
Yeah.
one that's a little too shaky, Atlas.
Never have I ever left LS at the movies.
I haven't done that either.
That is absolutely something.
Yeah,
I've
take a
never done.
drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to. I was going to hydrate myself,
Yeah.
but I stopped. I refrained
joke.
just so that I wasn't going to be highlighting. And of
Alice.
course, if you're drinking this glorious cup of, I think it's coffee. I don't know.
Iced coffee.
It's very sweet iced
Yes,
coffee.
it is.
That G-Sun delivered to us because she's fantastic. But possible team fight coming in here as Milestone, but there's the on-horn. Big bullet time as the Supreme Display of Talent only lands onto Teddy, but Mystic takes down Cuz already. Afreeca, relatively low health bars, but the focus fire is much better from this Afreeca squad. Double kill now for Mystic, looking for the triple onto Canna. And what looked like it could have been a good fight, just not working out here for T1, as Canna should be taken. The Haymaker comes through, and there's the belated triple kill for Mystic.
And, well, this has not been a very good day for Rek'Sai's. I will tell you that much.
That's an emphasis on the side.
Yeah.
As Dread comes on over, he's going to show us that Cloud Drake is going to be our Dragon Soul.
The Ocean Dragon doesn't really serve Afreeca that much of a purpose, and so posturing the way that T1 was, I mean, this is very akin to Clint's performance earlier on tonight.
Yeah.
On the Rek'Sai. Just getting completely blown open. MF and Zoe do not have the damage yet to just suddenly delete people, even if you get into position. The Ornn ultimate not able to achieve enough. And Mystic just getting all the kills on this Kali Star.
It's real scary because Kalista, of course, has so much peel. Even if your support doesn't want to peel for you, you can tell them that they have to peel for you by pressing R. Very, very powerful. Not exactly with the same CS lead that he had in game number 1, but his gold score is going to, by far, be the highest in the game. And you can see Fly more difficult to hit with a Trouble Bubble this game. Of course, there were no Trouble Bubbles in game number 1, but Keen has found Canna. Canna doesn't seem too perturbed, as Keen's doing a lot of stuff, but almost able to take down half of a health bar of the Ornn, who was doing the I'm going to walk away from you strategy.
And T1 are kind of far behind right now, all things considered.
Oh, yeah.
I do believe that Elise is going Oblivion Orb second item, and so against the Zoe, Rek'Sai, and MF, and even the Nautilus, look at him, 38 MR. It's going to come pretty close to dealing true damage, and so that'll actually help the Elise remain relevant until the later stages of the game. Infernal Dragon is coming up, so we got some spicy drinks.
Yeah, we are. No Cloud Drake this time around, as Faker with his control ward knows exactly what's going on. Bubble lands. Onto Jelly is, God, yeah, that's a lot of damage. More sparkles, Proto Belt put on top as well, as he just picked that one up from the lane. As, yeah, Shirley's going to go on a merry walk, a merry jaunt around here as Cuz wastes a whole lot of his buttons, re-aggroing this Rift Herald. Fly gets a control ward in the back of the pit though, and T1 looking to try and stabilize. It's not over just yet. Only 2,000 gold, the lead here for Afreeca, who, like we were talking about earlier, are sinning with this composition, but a sinful comp can still work if you get the required advantages in the early game.
Yeah, it really can. So
Shirley is claimed.
This is super surprising for game number 2. It's only a little bit less than a 2,500 gold lead, so the ornaments, once they do start coming in, will be very valuable. Kana even taking some of the EXP out of the jungle, as Cuz did just ding level 9. Faker looking for something.
Jelly,
yeah, that's Protobelt available again. What is Cuz doing?
Tunneling away at this stage, so it's going to be all right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Saw that. Now he's empowered recalling home. As
Excellent.
Cloak of Agility completed here for Teddy, trying to get as much of that cooldown reduction as possible alongside his Essence Reaver. Faker taking a bit of damage there, but just a few from Fly, and Seeker's Arm Guard is completed, so a bit of extra armor here for Faker. Control Ward from Effort. Finds himself the Dredge Line and the Depth Charge, a lot of damage, but Haymaker is going to bait them in. Fate's Call from Mystic. Now Effort, is he actually going to be able to get this one done as Canna desperately trying to find Randall a kill, but not going to be able to do so.
Yeah, they are on such different pages, it seems, this game. T1 really struggling to sort of find their groove here in this game. Minute and a half. Oh no, I feel.
They spotted Jelly.
Yep.
They knew that they have to get away. Cocoon avoided there by Teddy. Really nicely done. Still had cleanse, but now going to retain it, defending this outer turret top lane. Canna underneath his right now, but is going to be able to breathe all these minions to death. Down by about 10 CS after Afreeca took control of the game, as Dred will find a face-checking Effort, but the stun is going to be down. He can't even repel until very late, as Effort does get out of the way. Keen in here though with the teleport, finds the depth charge onto Teddy, and he should be taken down. No way that he can flash out of this one, and Keen eventually will find that kill. An advantage in the end as they take out the top lane outer turret as well. At 6-1 is the kill score for Afreeca. They are getting very close to the sweet spot that this composition really needs.
Yeah. They are super far ahead right now. Faker is going to be hard-pressed to actually find a reset and get back in position in time. 30 seconds until Infernal. And the scary thing is that with the Callista, it's not really a 50-50, even if Rek'Sai tries to go for it, as you can just see.
Avoided the E damage there from Cuz. I think that that would have actually killed, so just great repel timing out of Dred. As Keen so sticky on this Sylas. No way that Teddy can get out of the way. Could have possibly flashed that wall, but unfortunately just not enough time to do so, and didn't want to give up a summoner spell for free. That Infernal Soul you were talking about now on the table for Afreeca. T1 still, of course, capable of winning a team fight as this game moves further forward. They are going to scale more nicely. And Faker is now at that brilliant time of the game where these trouble bubbles can spell death for anyone out of position. Unless their name is Jelly with a Mystic around. Red's going to start this one off. They're going to take this dragon down very, very quickly. Bubble not going to land onto Keen, and T1 have to give this one up. Infernal Soul Point now available for Afreeca. It's the point where it's looking more and more difficult for T1 to be able to stabilize. Looks like Gen G likely to be holding on to sole possession of first place after this series unless T1 can do something amazing.
And Fly just down here in bot lane, perhaps waiting for a lone Straggler.
Strangler?
Yeah, I don't know.
Lone
You know, I saw the letters in my head, and then the pronunciation just didn't quite get there.
Yeah, it was a straggler. It's all right.
Yeah,
put
sometimes
an extra G.
sometimes I end up
G in there.
mispronouncing
Yeah,
as Aatrox.
Yeah,
and that one's the worst.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Don't do that. As Faker does find a bubble under Mystic, but too many friends in the area. And Dread is just so accelerated. My goodness, doesn't even have Oblivion Orb yet, but once he gets that item, he's going to be so extraordinarily strong. Keen has his first 2 items and some brown bags completed as well, as the Zhonya's is there, already done for the Sylas. It's a big deal, Sylas, this game. Ornaments starting to come in. Kanna gets his first.
What I'd really like to see here, okay, just to leave a little bit of a cliffhanger for round number 1 until we come back, is Faker gets 2 kills in this game.
Okay.
And then, if Afreeca perfect game them, 1 kill left. And he never gets a kill for the rest of his career. He only gets...
Oh my god! The follow-up is too much. I can't hear that.
Only assists.
Yeah, well, Edge of Night, Faker is in trouble here as he might get a death this game, but he goes golden. Cuz is looking to make his way in here as Faker flashes over the wall. That's his real one. Has the cleanse, but Dread gets him with the final Q. Fly with the assist on top of it, and Jelly just trying to keep Cuz out of this. 0-1-0. Not the scoreline Faker was looking for. He was looking for anything above 3 in the first column, nothing in the second column, and whatever you have in the last column, it doesn't matter. Fortunate so far this game that he hasn't really been able to find an impact other than a CS advantage. On to Fly. 2.5 minutes until that Infernal Soul is being threatened for Afreeca. T1 really need to find an avenue back into this game. Teddy goes back, he completes his Berserker's Greaves as well as another BF sword, but that is not the Bolton Edge nearly completed as Kanna just waiting to divvy out his ornaments. But, you know, sometimes it's Christmas and you don't deserve a present.
Yeah, that is true. Waiting for the Molten Edge to come in as well as the Zhonya's Hourglass or the Zhonya's Paradox.
Yep. Well,
as Keen gonna dodge
Randall, yeah, gonna get flashed out of the way of.
Yeah, it's said right there on the script.
Oh man,
Randall's
getting hungry.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. They don't let him out these days.
No, they don't.
Not too often.
Sort of like he's sent to the wrong paddock in a lot of these instances this game. As Cuz gonna face check Dread, and he's a real scary champion to face check as well as Keen finds a depth charge, throws it onto Teddy, but only gets the solo knock-up as Kanna going to be in position but doesn't have the ram to send out. Afreeca not actually finding any of their targets, but not really punishable at this stage. Hijack, the only thing really on cooldown, but at level 13, the cooldown isn't that much of an issue.
And Cuz is just not getting any more gold anymore by his teammates. He's just, for the most part,
good onto Teddy, yeah, immediately. Able to cleanse his way out, but Effort not able to find the dredge line. Outer turret mid is going to be taken. And that minute's ticking down as Infernal Drake draws closer.
I can look for this, Zoe no flash. I got Zoe. Dive Misfortune.
Yeah, can we look for a dive, I guess?
Yeah.
Dread, good to see him doing some shot calling here. 2-0 and 4 now on the Elise. Great performance so far, really controlling this early game, showing us the power that Elise can have if you're able to push that further forward as far as these early game advantages. Have to remind everyone that as this game goes on, it is going to be harder and harder for Afreeca to hold on to this lead because of this gentleman you can see on your screen right here. His double ornamented items.
The ornaments are helping.
Edge is going to be put together.
Yeah, they're helping invalidate some of this gold advantage, at least on Ornn specifically. And you can see the Oblivion Orb on the Elise.
Yep. Doing so much damage right now. As soon as she finds any of the squishies on T1's side. And this is Infernal Soul. T1 have to fight for this. I want to see the Molten Edge actually picked up here onto Teddy.
No.
Sorry, yeah, Kanna can give it to him, but look at this.
Kanna.
Faker off to the side, does manage to get the Trouble Bubble onto
over.
Flyers. Fly gonna get taken down, not the steal that you were looking for as a T1 fan as Cuz able to get out of there, but the Infernal Soul has been collected, and this could be lights out for T1.
So the weird thing here is that I'm pretty sure that if you look at this in a vacuum, T1's chance to win the game fighting pre-Infernal Soul versus post-Infernal Soul, that's probably the best chance they would have.
Yeah.
And now it's just so hard to imagine a universe where this doesn't go all the way to 3 games.
Certainly looking like it. T1 have made miracles happen in the past, though, as we have a look at this again. This was Fly buying time.
Yeah, it's just not a 50-50. So, there's no way that Rek'Sai is ever going to be able to outsmite the Kalista.
Especially not when he's dead. Sorry, when she's dead.
And so now the only way T1 can come back and win this game is via a miracle from Faker, most likely, on Zoe.
Oh, Dredgeline comes in here as now Kane throws out Ronald. Is Randall going to be there? The answer is no, because it's still on cooldown. 2 kills already for Afreeca. And Dred just goes golden and keeps himself alive with the rappel. Now Keen looking to dive onto Canna. And they're just trying to buy space so they can go back to this Baron and finish this game off. I love that Afreeca have kept up the pressure all game long. Never given T1 any breathing room.
Yeah.
Well, Fly in trouble. Faker looking for it. Does find 1 kill. Still needs 2 more.
2 more.
As of course this means 2,000 kills in the LCK. But honestly, this game is looking really rough as the Ram does go through, gets a few knockups as well as Canna butts his head against this Infernal Rift wall. Won't be taken down, will get out of there. Faker as well is going to keep himself alive. But the Baron will go to Afreeca. We'll see whether this is the death nail for T1.
So T1, they're trying to just get this Scuttle Crab. Cuz eventually ends up smiting it, doesn't matter, he's brought down. The Zoe bubble lands onto Dread, not able to find anything else, and then Effort just randomly walk forward. Faker picks up the Ignite. Pay attention to Keen Hair Randall. Or Ronald coming out as Teddy brought into the team by Jelly.
Yeah, really cool. Showstopper is exactly what we were talking about, being able to Fates call in, Showstopper out. Really do whatever you want. As, yep, Faker gets 1 kill. But 1 kill ain't enough to help this game. And we don't have the Luden's upgrade. It is going to be the Zhonya's upgraded here for Faker, so much better stats to come through. And he needs as many stats as early as possible. Cuz does have the Black Cleaver ready to be obsidianed. This Canna should be able to do that pretty soon. In fact, it should be able to do it now, I believe. Maybe level 15. As Facebreaker is going to deny Cuz the tunnel, but he gets back to a different one. As Jelly's going to deconstruct them. Afreeca now trying to buff up these minions, but not able to take the inner turret mid just yet. And let's just see whether the T1 Turtle is as strong as it has been in the past. 6,000 gold the lead, and an Infernal Soul, and a Baron behind Afreeca. But it's never over till it's over when it comes to T1.
Well, taking a look at some of these things, as I believe this post is actually old. I'm looking for the total gold values of all of Orin's items.
I mean, I think the gold is about even when it comes to stat value now that 4 ornaments have been put together. Maybe it's still in favor of Afreeca with just 4. As Cuz looking for Keen there. Keen looking to try and turn that one around as he steals the ultimate, but it's going to be repaid in kind as Cuz gets himself out of there. Keen lasting for so damn long, picks up the kill onto Cuz, gets himself out, but Faker's able to get his 2nd kill. In the meantime, Dread almost taken down by Canna, but he can't fall, and Mystic will take down this inhibitor turret. Effort getting himself over with the blast cone, but it'll be too late as Mystic finds him out, gets the slow. The Dredgeline will keep Effort out of harm's way. We are 1999 for Faker, but I don't know whether it was the year we're looking for, as 10,000 gold is ticking ever so much closer for Afreeca. 2 inhibitors will be taken down, and despite T1 feeling like they found a couple of picks there, the outplay from Keen was so beautiful to watch, and Dread just seems immortal this game.
At this point, it's just a bit of a waiting game for maybe the next Baron. Cuz comes over, jumps in onto Keen. Faker trying to help. He ends up going golden. And Keen is, yeah, I mean, it's not a great day for Rek'Sai.
Yeah, not a great day for Cuz in general, to be honest. I think that was a blind. What? I don't think there was vision.
Nope, something happened here.
It's crazy. Yeah, Dread does manage to take down the turret here. Looks to get himself out of the way. And yeah, just too far ahead. Supreme display of talent, and despite all of the armor, Canna still. Oh my God, so close. And yeah, so far.
Well, nice attempt. As Kindle Gem picked up by Horn, 9,000 gold lead, Infernal Soul Elder. This is the only way for T1 to win.
If they get the steal here with a level behind Smite and a Rend in the way of T1, it's going to be most certainly a miracle. 2 Nexus turrets are up. T1 can't leave their base for too long. And Mystic's already started this Elder Drake. Double lifesteal items means that he just doesn't lose health. As Cuz wants to try and get over here as Jelly is so tanky. Effort over to the side, Jelly with the Haymaker. It's going to be the Elder Drake taken down. Giant showstopper into the backline, but Jelly is taken down first. Congratulations on 2,000 kills for Faker, but can they get more? Yes, they can. Double for Faker, make that 2001. What a good year as T1 make it out with 5 members alive, but not a Nexus turret.
And so a Nexus turret ends up dying. T1, they're trying to stay alive, but they took away 2 Elder Dragons from the enemy team. I don't know how none of the procs ended up going off. It looked like so many other targets were actually low enough.
Yeah.
For Exodia to show its face. Let's take a look at this one more time. Jelly locking up everyone on T1. Haymaker comes out. Look at Cuz's HP. And Teddy as well. Look at Teddy in between. The ultimate from Fly on that Kiana. Double kill picked up by Faker. Now, if there is some sort of a Hail Mary that can exist.
If the 2,000 kill buff is going to be true, it has to come out now because there's no other time to do it. Because Faker will never hit 2,000 kills in the LCK ever again.
Faker, by the way, with some really insane itemization. He actually built a Void Staff. The targets do have a Mountain Dragon, and there's no reason to just go Oblivion Orb when they can get MR later.
Ooh, Silas is going to get bubbled. Yeah, he's going to go Rabbidan's Death Cap as his next item of choice as well, which will be a large amount of damage. And now, in fact, has a bounty on his head. As you can see, Teddy defending bottom side as the Baron is taken. No way that T1 could defend that with so many inhibitors down and so much map pressure in favor of Afreeca. But now, Afreeca does need to come to T1. And we have almost full ornaments. Cuz has his now. He's got a stopwatch. If T1 can turtle this, it will be reminiscent of the epic Jin Air series.
How fortified is their turtle?
Oh my goodness, Dread does so much damage.
Yeah, that is really scary. 35 seconds too. I don't think they have enough time.
There is only one Nexus turret available, as we've only got 50 seconds on the inhibitors top and bot. So Afreeca will take this one down, so they're not going to get trolled by the Nexus coming back online. But
Ronald
here
McDonald.
comes Ronald. Yep, a double knockup is going to come in. There's the showstopper onto Effort. The Gargoyle Stone Plate is going to come in. They're just going to try and focus down the Nexus as Randall. Not going to be picked back up, and Afreeca will silence T1 and bring it to 3 games. Congratulations to Gen G for being our round 1 first place holders in the LCK.
Yeah. With this defeat over T1, they cannot close the gap and tie Gen G in terms of points, even though they have the head-to-head over them. It's not going to matter, as going to a game number 3 is a little bit scary, but now what ends up happening? Because a lot of this was a destruction in the jungle early.
Yeah, I think Dread has had some of the best Elise performances. Most of them happened last year. He sort of came back and Spirit was the one getting a lot of the wins on the Elise, but this is vintage aggressive Dread that just literally never stops.
Yeah.
Harassing you and attacking. And that's what you need to do. If you're going to play a Cinecomp and actually look good, this is how you do it. This is sort of a masterclass of we're going to pick only early game, but it doesn't actually matter how many ornaments and how much late game scaling you have if we just continue ramping up, and never letting go of the gas.
They ended up getting perfect rolled by dragons, which was a little bit unfortunate as well.
Yeah.
That Afreeca was able to get to the Infernal Soul. T1 just sort of fell apart. They took very bizarre team fights. You had Effort donking it up at the bottom tri-brush.
And then they
that
felt
was obviously horrendous. Yeah, they felt very disjointed. And what an awful day for Rek'Sai picks overall.
Faker managing to top damage in this whole game is on Zoe, so you do offer a lot of poke, and a congratulations to him for picking up his 2,000th kill. It's a little bit unfortunate that he does it in a loss, however, he's still able to get there and create LCK history. It's crazy to think that I think is the person in second place for kills in the LCK is almost like 500 behind Faker.
What?
Yeah, the stat is crazy.
No,
we saw a list. Deft, remember, spent like years in the LPL. So his LCK stat's not going to be there.
In the
yeah,
LCK?
kills in the LCK.
Ah, okay.
Anyone behind, like, I think there's a few people on the list that have retired, Score and Ambition, both going to be there. I think there's only 10 that have over 1,000 kills. Deft is, of course, one of them. Teddy very recently made himself onto that list. Yeah, Sungyun's in there. Praise, of course, in there. Deft is in there, like we mentioned. So congratulations to Faker, the first man to 2,000. As after the break, we'll see whether they can win this series against Afreeca Freecs.
바텀 갑자기. 우리 장로 끝난 거 생각해. 우리 바론 있어. 이거 나 미포 한번 그냥 밀어낼게. 너 타워 해봐. 야 미포 가봐. 타워 칠게. 타워 칠 거야. 타워 칠 거야. 나 노틸 볼게 이거. 야 천천히 봐봐. 미포 킬러플. 이거 넥서스. 잡아. 가자. 이거지.